Welcome back, children. We are moving on to the next measure of central tendency, that is mode. We finished learning mean and median in individual, discrete and continuous series, and in this video you are going to learn the next measure of central tendency, that is mode, and we will be learning mode in individual, discrete and continuous series. Now let us see what is mode, the definition of mode. Mode is the value which occurs most frequently in a series. Now, if a particular series is given, the most frequently appearing value in that series is called mode. Okay, so mode is the value which occurs most frequently in a series, because you know in a series, whether it is in an individual or a discrete or a continuous series, some numbers will be repeated more times. So the one which appears more frequently, that particular value is considered as mode. So once again I will read out the definition. Mode is the value which occurs most frequently, repeatedly in the series. That means its number will be more. Frequency will be more. That means modal value has the highest frequency in the series. So just as what I told you now, that modal value has the highest frequency in the series. Now mode is calculated in individual, discrete and continuous series. Now as you all know, individual series is a series which doesn't have the frequency. So we will first learn mode in an individual series. Now calculation of mode in an individual series. Now in individual series we calculate mode by using a method known as inspection method. The method is known as inspection method. By inspecting the series we will find out the mode. That is why it is named as inspection method. Now an example is given for you to calculate mode in an individual series. The age of 15 students are given below. Find the mode. Now the values are 22, 24, 17, 18, 17, 19, 18, 21, 20, 21, 20, 20, 23 and 3 times number 22 is written. 22, 22, 22. Now by inspection method, when we inspect which number has occurred the most frequently occurred number will be considered as the mode. Now you know this is an individual series, therefore no frequency will be there. From the values arranged we have to find out which number has repeated for so many times. So from the example itself it is clear, isn't it? So to do the calculation of mode, the first step in an individual series that you have to follow is arrange your data in an ascending order. Now the question which I have given here, this question I have arranged it in an ascending order here. Now when we arrange the data in ascending order, it will be 17, 17, 18, 18, 19, 20, 20, 21, 21, 22, 22, then 22, 22, 23 and 24. Now here you can see number 22 has occurred for 4 times. All other numbers have occurred for 2 or 3 times, isn't it? Some number has appeared only for 1 time, some numbers have appeared for 2 times or 3 times, but more number of times number 22 has appeared, therefore modal value is 22. So mode is equal to 22. We represent the symbol of mode as like this. Mode is equal to 22 because number 22 is the most frequently occurring value in the series. Now we will move on to the next one, the calculation of mode in a discrete series. Now you know what is a feature of a discrete series, right? Frequency will be given for a discrete series. Now in discrete series, the mode is calculated by using 2 methods. First, as we all learned now, inspection method. By inspecting, by looking into the data, we will analyze which one is the modal value. And the next one is grouping method. So these 2 methods are followed to calculate mode in a discrete series. The first method is inspection method and the second method is grouping method. Now let us see what is this inspection method as per discrete series. Now you all know in a discrete series, x values will be given and frequency will be given. So X value is income. Income is given as 110, 120, 130, 140, 150 and 160, and frequencies are 2, 4, 8, 10, 5 and 4. Now, which number of persons and income is given here? How many number of people has secured more with the particular level of income? That is what you have to find out. Now here, if for income level 110, 2 people are receiving 110 rupees. Now 4 people are receiving the wage 120. 130 rupees is received by 8 people. 140 is received by 10 people, 150 is received by 5 people, and 160 is received by 4 people. So these are the wages: 110, 120, 130, 140, 150, 160. In this, 10 people are receiving rupees 140. So maximum number of people are receiving the amount 140. Therefore, our model value is 140, because we have learned the model value means the value which has highest frequency in the series. I can just point out the definition once again for you. We have learned the definition. See, the model value has the highest frequency in the series. That is what we have seen here. Number 140 or income 140 is received by 10 people. This has the highest frequency. Therefore, model value is 140. Now, one more method is followed in this particular discrete series to find out the model value, that is grouping method. This is grouping method. Now, when do we use this grouping method? We use the grouping method in certain circumstances. When do we use this grouping method? Now, let us learn that grouping method. Now, grouping method is the most popular method of calculating the mode. Now, using this grouping method, to find out the mode using this grouping method in a discrete series, we have to prepare 2 things. The first one is a grouping table. Second one is an analysis table. So, for calculating the mode in a discrete series using grouping method, we have to prepare 2 important things. They are grouping table and analysis table. Now, I told you grouping method is used under certain circumstances. Now, let me explain that for you. Now, this is the table. This is a question. You have to find out the mode for this given series in such a way that size is given as the X value and frequency is also given here. Now, if you look at this particular data, you can find 3, 8, 10, 12, 16, 14, 10, 8, 17, 5, 4 and 1 is given, isn't it? Now, number 10 is repeated for 2 times, isn't it? So, where frequencies are repeated for 2 times, isn't it? Now, here you can find the highest value goes for this particular size, that is 6. Therefore, at a glance we can say it as a model value, isn't it? So, but we have to do with the grouping method. Okay, so grouping method. So, grouping method is used. It is a method of finding out the model class fails in case the frequencies of series are not increasing or decreasing in the same systematic pattern. So, here we can find 3, 8, 10, 12, 16, 14, 10, 8, 17, 5, 4, 1. 10 with the maximum value of 17. So, 10 has got the maximum size. So, at a glance, instead of using the inspection method, grouping table can be used in order to make a final conclusion. So, that is why we use the grouping method. Now, in another case, the grouping method where we use another circumstances, sometimes for number 17, say for example, this number 17 which has the highest frequency can appear for both the values. Just for an example, I am going to explain it to you. This is the size, right? For this size, 17 is the highest value. Now, this 17 appears to be the highest frequency among all other sizes given here, isn't it? Now, if by chance, if number 13, this number 13 also has got the same size as of 17, how will you assess the model value here? It is not possible, isn't it? So here model values will be 10 and 13. No, that cannot be. That cannot happen, isn't it? Because we have learned the model value is the value which has the highest frequency in the series. Here, the highest frequency 17 appears for both 10 as well as 13. The example which I took now. Actually, in this example, the frequency is 1 for 13, but for making you understand, I am considering it as a 17 instead of 1. So, if the same highest frequency appears for two sizes here, two x values, you can't choose both the x values as model values. Only one model value should be there. In such a circumstances also, we use the grouping table or grouping method. So, here the values are not increasing or decreasing in a simultaneous way. Sometimes 2 or 3 x values may have the same highest frequency. At that time, it will be very difficult for a person to analyze which is the model value. So, as per this example, number 10 and number 13, the example which I made now, as per this example which I made now, number 13 has a 17, at the same time number 10 also has a 17. So, these are the two sizes with maximum frequency. We can't consider both 10 and 13 as a model value. Only one model value should be there. So, in such a circumstances, we will be using the grouping table, okay, or grouping method. Now, I told you for finding the mode using the grouping method, we have to frame a grouping table and an analysis table. Let us frame out that first. Okay. So, I have made the correction again as per this example. Size 13 has only one frequency. Okay. Now, here only one particular size has got 17. So, grouping method is used. So, with this inspection method, you can say which method, which size has got, which is the model value here. Number 10 is the model value here. But when we use a grouping method, the answer will be the one which is different from this. Now, grouping method, once again I am telling you, it will be used when the two x values has got the same highest frequency, or it can be used in other circumstances too. Now, this is the grouping table which I have framed out for you. Now, size is given as 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Now, how to frame a grouping table? Now, in this discrete series, to find out the mode, you have to make grouping table as well as the analysis table. Now, what is this grouping table? How to frame out the grouping table? Now, there will be altogether 6 columns except size, but including frequency. Once again I am telling you, to frame out the grouping table, there will be altogether 7 columns in which size will not be considered as the calculation column. Okay, so it starts from column 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 plus 1 will be the size. Okay. Now, this size is not used for the calculation purpose, that you will understand when I explain it to you. Now, frequency. From frequency, we will consider it as column number 1. Now, this is the size 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Now, size we have written here, the same thing we have written there. Now, frequency. What are the frequencies here? 3, 8, 10, 12, 16, 14, 10, 8, 17, 5, 4 and 1. The frequency. The same frequency I have written there as column number 1. So, we are starting with column number 1. In column number 1, what do we write? All the frequency values. So, once again I am repeating. Altogether there are 7 columns. The first column is size. Then starts with the first column where we number it as a first column. Actually, first column we use it for writing the size, but our column number starts from the frequency as the first column. That is this one. We are not numbering this size as a column number 1. No, we are starting numbering the column as number 1, column number 1 with frequency values. So, all the frequency values I have written here. Okay. Now, your column number 2. What is column number 2? Column number 2, what you have to do is add the first two numbers of the frequency, that is 3 plus 8. 3 plus 8. Okay. Now you have to mark it like this and write it as 3 plus 8. What is 3 plus 8? 11. Okay. 11 is 3 plus 8. Okay. Then comes add the next two values, 10 plus 12. 10 plus 12 is 22. So when you write that, you have to definitely write 10 plus 12. That is a must. Then comes the next one, 16 plus 14, 10 plus 8, 17 plus 5, 4 plus 1. So add all the two numbers and then write its value. Okay, that is column number 2. So column number 2 is 1 plus 2. 1 plus 2 in the sense frequency number plus frequency number 2. Okay, now this is column number 2. Next we will move on to column number 3. So column number 1, once again I will repeat, it is frequency. Column number 2 is frequency 1 plus frequency 2. 3 plus 8, then 10 plus 12. It starts with 1 plus 2. 3 plus 8, then the next 2, 10 plus 12, then 16 plus 14, then 10 plus 8, then 17 plus 5 and 4 plus 1. Next is column number 3. In column number 3, what you have to do is 2 plus 3. 2 plus 3 means what? That is 8 plus 10. 8. 2 plus 3. What is the second frequency? That is 8 plus 10. No, 10 plus 8, 8 plus 10. Okay, 2 plus 3. So that means leave the first one. Leave the first frequency and take the next two. 8 plus 10. 8 plus 10 is 18. 18. Then 12 plus 16. 28. So when you write there, you have to mark it like this and write 12 plus 16. Then the next two, 14 plus 10, 24, these two. Then comes 8 plus 17. Then 5 plus 4. Again, there is no pair for 1 to add. So we will leave that 1 just as we leave this 3. So column number 3, you have to leave the first frequency, add the next two to each. Towards the end, one number will not have the pair to add, so leave that number. So column number 1 is frequency, nothing to do with that. Column number 2 is 1 plus 2, then the next two pairs. Then column number 3 is leave the first frequency and take the next pair as two numbers each and then add. Towards the end, one will be left out, leave it. Then comes the next one. That is column number 4. In column number 4, we are going to add 3 numbers each. That is 1 plus 2 plus 3. 3 plus 8 plus 10. That is 3 plus 8 plus 10 is 21. Then the next 3. 12 plus 16 plus 14. That is 42. Then comes the next 3. 10 plus 8 plus 17. 10 plus, to show we are adding 10 plus 8 plus 17, we have to put this rectangle box, okay, to represent this. Next one, 5 plus 4 plus 1. Okay, 5 plus 4 plus 1 is 10. So this is how we must proceed with the next table, 1 plus 2 plus 3. Now, next column, column number 5. Just as we did for this column number 3, leave the first frequency and add the next 3. In column number 3, we did leaving the first frequency and add 2. But here it is add 3. So how will you do? Leave the first and add the next 3. 8, 10, 12. That is what I have done here. 8 plus 10 plus 12, you will get it as 30. Then add the next 16, 14 and 10. You will get it as 40. Then 8, 17 and 5. You will get it as 30. So when you add like that, these two numbers 4 and 1 will be left out. Leave it because it doesn't have the third number. It can't make a pair. Only 2 are there. But here the pairing system is 3. So only 4 and 1 is there. We can't do anything. So leave it as it is. Okay. So this is column number 5. Next is column number 6. Column number 6 is leave the first 2 and then add the 3. Leaving the first 2 means 3 and 8 from the frequency. Everything we are doing it with frequency. So leave the first 2 and take the next 3. What you will get? 10, 12, 16. 10 plus 12 plus 16 is 38. Then the next one, 14 plus 10 plus 8. 14 plus 10 plus 8 is 32. Then comes 17 plus 5 plus 4. 17 plus 5 plus 4 is 26. And the last one is 1. Nothing to do with that because it is only one number. We need 3 numbers to get a pair. So leave it as it is. So that is how we proceed. So column number 1 is size. Then we have a different purpose for size. We will analyze the purpose of the size later. Then your column starts with column number 1 where you write the frequency as it is. Column number 2, add the first 2, then take 2 to each. Column number 2 is leave the first frequency and add the next 2. Column number 4, what you have to do is take 3 as a pair, 1 plus 2 plus 3. Then column number 5, leave the first frequency and add the next 3 frequencies, make it as a pair. Towards the end, if you don't have the pair, leave the numbers as it is. Then the last column, that is 6th column, we don't have the 7th column, 6th column, what you have to do is leave 2 and take the next 3. This is what you have to do. Now the next procedure is from each column you have to find out the highest number. In the first column frequency, the highest number is 17. So you have to put a tick on that. Okay. Now in the next column 2, which is the highest number, by adding these values you got certain values, isn't it? 3 plus 8 11, 10 plus 12 22, 16 plus 14 30, 10 plus 8 18, then 17 plus 5 22, 4 plus 1 5. So which is the highest value here? 30. By adding which all numbers you got? 30, 16 and 14. Okay. 16 and 14 belongs to which all sizes? 6 and 7. That is the significance of this size. So we need the size for that purpose. For preparing the analysis table, we need the size. Okay. So this is a must that you have to write. By adding which all numbers you got? 30. 16 plus 14. This 16 and 14. And this 16 and 14 belongs to the size 6 and 7. Likewise, a third column, which is the biggest number here? Number 28 is the biggest number. By adding 12 and 16, 12 and 16 belongs to 5 and 6, isn't it? Again, the fourth column, which is the highest number among the rounded ones, total 42 is the highest number. By adding which all numbers you got? 42, 12, 16 and 14. That is 12, 16 and 14. That is 42. Okay. Now the next one. The fifth column, 40. By adding which all numbers you got? 40, 16, 14 and 10. 16, 14 and 10. That is 6, 7 and 8. Then the last column, 38 is the highest number. You got 38 by adding 10, 12 and 16. 10, 12 and 16. 10, 12 and 16 belongs to 10, 12 and 16 belongs to 4, 5 and 6. Size 4, 5 and 6. So this is how you have to proceed. From each column you have to round off the biggest number and put the tick. Okay. Therefore it will be easy for you to check. Then after that you have to prepare the analysis table. What is this analysis table? To find out the model value, analysis table is a must. Without analysis table we can't find out the model value. To prepare analysis table, what has to be done? This is the procedure. First you have to draw the columns and the rows. How many columns do you have? 6 columns we have, isn't it? Except this size, how many columns do you have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So all those 6 columns I have represented here. This is column 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6, and towards the end you have to give a separate column for total. Okay. Now size, I told you this size, we have to accommodate this size. That size will be written here on the top. Size of the items containing maximum frequency. Size of the items containing maximum frequency. What do you mean by that? What is a maximum frequency here? 17. What is a maximum frequency here? 30. What is a maximum frequency here? 28. This is what we mean by maximum frequency. So what is the heading given there? Size of the items. I told you, as 17 is the highest value in this particular column, isn't it? 17 belongs to the size 10. Now here 30 is the highest value. You got 13 by adding 16 and 14. 16 and 14 belongs to size 6 and 7. That is what we are going to represent here. Okay, so we have written the size as 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 and 13. That is a size, isn't it? That is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. That size should be written on the top. Now we are going to do the analysis table. Now you know in the first value, in the first column you can find number 17 is the, in column 1 number 17 is the highest value, and that belongs to the size 10, isn't it? Number 17 is the highest value of the first column. That belongs to which size? 10. Size is 10. So take column number 1. 17 is the biggest number. It belongs to the size 10. So give a tick on 10. Okay, that job is over. Then comes the next column. In the next column, 30 is the biggest number. You got it by adding 16 and 14. 16 and 14. 16 and 14 belongs to which all sizes? 6 and 7. Okay, so keep that in mind. Column number 2, 6 and 7. Column number 2, 6 and 7. Why 6 and 7? Because you got 30 as the biggest value by adding 16 and 14. 16 and 14 belongs to which size? 6 and 7. That is why we have given column number 2, 6 and 7. 2 tick marks. Then column number 3. Which is column number 3? Column number 3 is this one. Here the maximum value is 28. You got 28 by adding 12 and 16. 12 and 16 belongs to the size 12 and 16. It belongs to the size 5 and 6. So give a tick on 5 and 6. Column number 4. Column number 4 you can find. Column number 4, highest value is 42. You got it by adding 12, 16 and 14. 12, 16 and 14 belongs to the size 5, 6 and 7. So column number 4, 5, 6 and 7. Similarly, column number 5, that is 6, 7 and 8. Column number 6, just go to column number 6. This is column number 6, highest value is 38. You got it by adding 10, 12 and 16. 10, 12, 16 belongs to the size 4, 5 and 6. 4, 5 and 6. Column number 6, 4, 5 and 6. We have given the tick mark here. And we will be adding each and every column towards the end. In column 2, nothing is there. So blank. In size 3, nothing is there. Again here, in 4, there is 1. 5, we got 1, 2 and 3. So write the total as 3. In 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tick marks we got. In 7, the size we got 1, 2, 3 as the total. Now in 8th size we got 1, in 9th size nothing, in 10th size 1 is there, isn't it? Or 17 frequency value. 11th nothing is there. 12th size nothing is there. 13th size nothing is there. So which size has got the maximum value? The size 6 has got the maximum value as 5. Therefore we can write the model value as 6. So here what is the mode? 6. So the size 6 has the highest representations, therefore we will consider the model value as 6. So I hope you all understood this. You have to prepare a table and work it out, then only you will be able to understand. So remember the adding up of columns, don't get confused with adding up of columns. Once again, size will be one column and your column number starts with the frequency as the first column. Second column, add the 2, 1 and 2. Third column, leave 1, add the next 2. Fourth column, add 1, 2, 3 frequencies. Fifth column, that is the fifth column, that is leave the 1 and add the next 3, and the sixth column leave the 2 and add the next 3. Towards the end, if there is no pair, you need not do it, that number can be written there as it is. Okay, then prepare the analysis table, and size should be written in a row wise and the columns, all the columns should be represented with the total. So which size is getting the maximum representation, that will be considered as the model value. So here in this example the model value is 6. So I hope it is clear to you. Thank you.